All right, welcome to the Franchise Time Machine. We've got a new game to test out. So we're going to do a few things tonight, including set up for Creator Roster. Hey, thank you for the raid, Lone Star SW. I had a lot of things to do around the house, but I did catch the tail end of your stream. 40 some games over 500. Pretty amazing. We've got the new tag up for OOTP27. It is still in public beta, but we're going to start doing stuff in 27 now. I apologize for my voice. I'm still getting over a cold, but we're going to see how much we can do tonight. Yeah, Lone Star, it's been great watching you streaming the game more and more these days. So it's awesome having you part of the streaming community for OOTP. So for those of you who might not know my stream, I usually stream a little bit later, around 10 p.m. Pacific time. Delhi Sports. It is OOTP27 time. I do basically three types of streams. And I realized that as we start the cycle, that I should maybe treat it as if there will be people watching the stream that have not seen the stream before. Because that probably is the case. So the first thing we do are experiments, and that's part of what we're going to be doing tonight. So some of the past things we've done are things like setting up a completely average league for experiments, and we'll be doing that again in OOTP27. Do you do 20 shots of Crystal Head on your 5th anniversary coming up? I mean, I don't even know what Crystal Head is, so I'm going to say maybe. We did a league full of Babe Ruths. So for those of you who may have heard about normalization or modifiers, but don't know what those are, this is a good experiment to check out. I don't know if it made it onto YouTube. If it didn't, I plan on redoing it in 27 anyway, because there are enough new players that I think would benefit from seeing this. It's a pretty fundamental way in which the game works, and I think it's important to understand. And so this will be an experiment we do again. This is one we're going to do every cycle, which is a test of batting attributes. So in the complete average league, we change each team so that all the batters on a specific team are maxed out for one of the batting categories. And then we just run the season to see which team scores the most runs. And then which team scores the second most runs. And we use that as a proxy for which of those attributes are most important relative to each other. Then we do theme simulations. So we do every year a Father's Day sim where I take the best father-son duos who have played Major League Baseball, or the best ones that can form a roster. So some of your favorite father-son duos might not be on there, but it might be because we can't fit them all into a roster. I think this will be an annual one now. It's Kitty Bransfield and Dave Steeb do this for Laptop Hound. He's never asked for it. I just do it in honor of Laptop Hound, I guess I should say. And then when a player passes away or does something noteworthy, or for Hall of Fame elections, I'll do a theme. Yeah, it's my usual Wednesday plans are not happening right now, so I get to stream a little bit. And then the community games. These have been probably my most popular streams, where we play we play some historic games, which Smiley Face Jane has done a great job playing a lot of those. Really interesting choices. Force for Trades used to be the most popular. This is where you choose any historic baseball team, and then you can force 4 teams in the majors to trade you the player of your choice, and you can send them back any piece of garbage you want. The one Smiley Face Jane has made my favorite now is Peak Performances. You choose any historic baseball team. You pick 5 players from that team to replace with peak versions of themselves. And this is a really good one if you like a team that has a combination of like washed up superstars and young future stars. And Smiley Face Jane is really good at finding historic teams that have good combinations of players like that. And there's some others too, but then these are probably the most popular, which are the creator roster games. This is where we use a player creation engine. It's open to any. All these games are open to anybody. It's just a channel point redemption. And in advance, I'll send each person a Google form, and they just let me know at what level, what positions they want to take. And so, depending on the game and depending on the version of the game. And I have to update this. This is now we're doing 2025 because OOTP27 has 2025 as the most recent data file based on historic stats. We used 1907 last year. Maybe we'll use a different year this year. I think 1911 is an interesting year, so maybe we'll use 1911. But the original version, you try to build the best team possible. Lowball is the one where you try to build the worst team possible. It also comes with more rules because it's easier to game the system when you're playing lowball. Studs and duds. This is where you only get 6 legend level players, and the rest are this is all 20 scrub. So it's basically, can 6 legends drag a team of 20 scrubs into the postseason and win the World Series? And then dead ball, which it takes into account the fact that it's a different era. And so tonight what we're going to do is we're going to start setting up for creator roster. It requires a little bit of calibration. So here's what we've done in the past. In order to calibrate, Nerd of Anarchy, who, by the way, is our leaderboard champion for some of these categories. For creator roster in OOTP26, Nerd of Anarchy had the most wins with 138. Tied for the fewest wins in lowball creator roster with kind of 360. And had the most and tied for second most wins in dead ball creator roster. So we've got a creator roster champion here in the chat. Smiley Face Jane, who was on here earlier, had the OOTP25 record for dead ball wins. Second fewest wins in low ball. And the most wins in regular creator roster in OOTP25. But what we're doing tonight is I want to set up the creator roster run environment in the beta. And then I got this during the the closed beta. But now that we have the public beta, I'm going to set it up in the public beta, and I can stream it now. I couldn't stream the closed beta. I can stream the live beta though, or the public beta. So we're gonna fill this part of the table in tonight. We're gonna do an all bench. Technically, it's not all bench. We do 5 players at a time, and I choose the best one of the 5. So usually you get slightly better than bench. If you're really unlucky, you'll end up with a bench or sub bench player, but you get 5 chances. So chances are you get slightly better than bench, if not much better than bench. So let's go ahead and set up the creator roster run environment in OOTP27. There we go. There's the game. We're going to create a new game. It is a historical game. We use the most recent complete season, which is 2025. And we'll import the history up. We're not going to import the history. That keeps the file size smaller. Not going to import real minor leagues. Again, keeping the file size small. We're not going to do expansion. It's just a 1-year sim. I leave these things the same. And because we're just setting up the run environment, I'm not going to assign myself to a team yet. So this will be creator roster 27, 2025, run environment. Or I guess quick start. Or no, we'll just call it run environment. Actually, what are we going to do today? All bench test? We can name it all bench test. When I save the quick start, though, we'll name it something else. So I always manage my teams as Mochi Mitsushi. You might see this on the leaderboard sometimes in Perfect Team. Since I'm Japanese, I make my manager Japanese. And we play commissioner mode, cannot be fired. You can't do this in challenge mode. We have to do too many things that would be considered cheating in challenge mode. And we'll leave this as the default difficulty. All right, it's going to set up the league. Starting to doubt that my real name is Mitsushi. Okay, so we're not gonna choose a team right now. We're gonna leave this as a default. All right, so we're not doing your pack giveaway today, so I don't need to mess with the mailbox. I do want to set the manager options to minimize disruptions. Now, these, unfortunately, will not carry over into the quick start. I wish they would. You know what? Maybe just in case they changed it, let's set up the mailbox. Maybe they've changed it so it'll carry over into the quick start. It would be nice if it did. All right, but really we need to get into the guts of the game here. So we'll go to game, pull that menu, game settings. Now, if this goes well, I'll clip it as a highlight that people can look at this and see how to set up their own version of the creator roster run environment or quick start if they want to tinker with this on their own. So we'll leave scouting off. That means scouting is 100% accurate. And we're going to turn off the coaching system. We leave owner goals unchecked. We're going to uncheck storylines. Storylines can often lead to players getting injured or retiring. Players and team, we're going to disable injuries, disable suspensions. We're going to leave personality and morale turned off. We leave player development disabled. And I'm going to, even though we don't have minor leagues, I'm going to uncheck allow potential influence minor league results. So player development being turned off ideally means our players across the league are not going to change during the sim. Because we're looking for stability here. Base gen unchanged, although let me check because we do have new options now, so let me make sure. Yeah, we're not going to change anything here. AI settings, again, just looking for anything that might be new that we might have to change. Almanac. Database. Now, league settings opens up a whole set of submenus here. There's often stuff you need to do here under league structure, but not tonight. Leagues and teams. This we usually don't have to change anything. Rules. I don't believe it lets you turn off roster expansion. So the de facto way to turn it off is you go from 26 players to 26 players. So during on-roster expansion day, you basically just don't expand. We're going to leave military service disabled. We're going to disable trading. That's a big one. And we're going to leave checked disable automatic creation of free agents. It can get confusing because a lot of these choices, you check the box to enable them, but then ones like this, you have to check the box to disable them. So you have to read them pretty carefully. Even I have to read them carefully, even though I've done this a bunch of times. Financials, I usually leave the same. Options, I don't let pitchers win the MVP award because they already have the Cy Young award. And I don't want to have to vote for anything, so I'm going to disable manual Hall of Fame voting. I'm going to disable human managers vote for All-Stars. I am going to turn off the importance of popularity in the All-Star voting. So then theoretically, it's just based on performance. Believe it or not, if you import Babe Ruth into any league, Babe Ruth will start with unknown popularity. So for things like when we're creating players or importing players, I definitely want All-Stars to be based on no popularity influence. And then I just want to make sure that there is a 3-game wild card. There is, okay. Okay, so for players, these are all okay being none. This becomes important when we play dead ball. We usually check this to make sure that the players get generated according to the era, but we're okay with that here. Historical, I don't want players retiring according to history or missed season according to history, so we're going to uncheck those. And I don't want to automatically import historical rookies. Again, we're looking for stability here. We don't want things to change. The recalc only matters after the season. So I think we're okay here. And then stats and AI, this is where the modifiers come into play. If you hear anyone talk about modifiers or normalization, that's handled here. So for what we're going to do in Create a Roster, we do want to lock this in. And then I don't want it to recalculate after we change the player base. So I'm locking this in because this locks in the feel of the season in question. In this case, this locks in 2025. By making the league totals try to match this by adjusting the modifiers, it'll make the run environment feel like 2025. These will be different for like 1975. But the fact that these are different, the game tries to make the league totals for the season end up like that by changing the multipliers. That's what makes it feel like 1975 or 2025. Now, this autocalc afterwards, this then says if I change the player base, like for that experiment I told you about where we bring in a league full of Babe Ruths. If I check this, then all of a sudden it'll make all the Babe Ruths try to converge around the league average, right? Because it wants the league stats to end up like the real life total league stats. It'll be more clear if you watch the experiment. So we'll do that this year for sure in OOTP27. So for this one, we leave this unchecked because when we create our new players, I don't want the new players to then change the modifiers for the league. I just want it to feel like 2025 with 26 different players that have been created on top of that. There are times when we do want to turn the modifiers on. Like Dead Ball Create a Roster, we'll probably turn this on just to keep the feel of the era. So with that, I think we're good. So we're going to do a quick save here so we don't lose what we just did. And the game just crashed. Let's see what I lost. I'm guessing we lost the whole thing, so we'll have to set it up again. But I won't have to explain it every time. Oh, it looks like, is there a new patch? Because it says it's downloading content. So we might have gotten a new patch. Supposedly fixes the issue with what just happened. That's amazing. How ironic. All right, OOTP27. There you go. Now it's loading. Okay, let me recenter this on my screen and then I'll switch it over. Okay, there we go. All right, so it looks like I might have, let me see if it'll let me load the game. All right, well, that didn't work. I guess it never made it to the save file. I know, okay, if it does become available at 3 a.m. Eastern Time, that'll be exciting because it's never been available that early before. It usually becomes available sometime between like 8 and noon Eastern Time, but it'd be awesome if it came available while I'm streaming Thursday night. So we're going to do what we just did, but we'll just zip through it this time. $2025, default mode, no minor leagues, no expansion. Or we'll just call it 25 quick start, right? Version 2. Are we going to change all this again too? Yeah, Nerd Frankie, where did you read that? Because that would be very exciting if that happened at that time. Okay, so that's all the superficial stuff. Now we're going to save it, and then we'll go jump into the game. Settings, scouting off, coaching off, owner goals already off, storylines off, injuries off, suspensions off, player development already disabled. Okay, face gen unchanged, AI settings unchanged, almanac unchanged, database unchanged, league settings. League and teams unchanged. Rules. Expansion, roster expansion, de facto no expansion. No military service, disabled trading. Leave creation of free agents disabled. No changes to financials. Options. Pitchers don't win the Cy Young Award. That's a personal preference. I don't want to vote for Hall of Fame. I don't want to vote for All-Stars. I do not want All-Stars to be influenced by popularity, so that's going to be set to none. And I want to make sure we have a 3-team wildcard, which we do. Players, this is unchanged. Historical, I do not want players retiring or missing seasons according to history. I do not want historical rookies automatically imported. Everything else still stays the same. Also, by the way, we are allowing two-way players to be created. We're allowing two-way players. We've just never had one created, I don't think. We're going to lock in the era modifiers, but we're going to unlock, or we're going to turn off the auto calc of new modifiers. This means if we import a bunch of Babe Ruth, they get to play like Babe Ruth. That's the easiest way to put it. But they'll still technically play like Babe Ruth in 2025 instead of Babe Ruth in 1975 or 1925. That's the whole idea. This makes it feel like the era. This then decides if you are redoing the modifiers based on the players who are in the population or the card set. Okay, so with that, let's save again. All right. Spyface Jane, you know this setup almost as well as I do. Did I forget to do anything? And let's make sure I didn't mess up, or they didn't add anything new that we need to consider. Spyface Jane just got back in time to hear me ask if I missed anything. I think we're good. I've done this enough times, and every time we do a historic game, I do it again. So I've gotten pretty good at doing it. So I think we're pretty safe. It's really just, did they add anything for 27 that I need to catch? I'm not seeing anything. I will say though, an editor, super exciting. PBABIP is now lefty-righty split and has potential and is on a 600 scale. PBABIP is no more the weird thing. Well, Spy15, I'll probably redo it in the live version on Friday. So if it messes up things, it'll just mess up things for tonight and tomorrow. I'll give you a heads up on Friday that I'm doing it for real. I'll ask you to keep an eye on it for me. Yeah, this looks pretty good. I think we're going to save this. We'll save it as quick start for the beta. We'll go to just version 2 on Friday. So we'll save this as a quick start. Creator roster 27, 2025, quick start. Actually, I think it's already version 2 because I was worried about version 1 being there from earlier. Gigaspeed 1332, thank you for the follow. Welcome in. Okay, so this will be set up in the public beta. All right, now to recreate this, where's my... All right, we're just going to do basically a create a roster draft with all bench level players. So we play create a roster. Normally, I would submit in what position I'm going to take at what level. I'm just going to go around the horn. We're going to go 12. We're going to go 13 pitchers because at bench level you burn through your bullpen pretty fast. 13 pitchers, 13 batters, and we'll go starting pitchers, position players, and then we'll close with relief pitchers. Or no, starting pitchers, starting position players, relief pitchers, and then bench. Speckle, thank you for the channel point redemption for Scritches for Crouton. Oh, Crouton. These are just Scritches. Oh, I freaked them out by mistake. Sorry, buddy. Sorry, buddy. Those are from Speckle. You can blame her. All right. Let's see. So, yeah, so I'm not going to fill out a form in advance. I just have it in my head. And we'll see how we compare it to previous versions. You can see there is a big improvement in the level of bench level players from 25 to 26. The scrubs got better, the bench level players got better, everyone else pretty much stayed the same. But we're going to see how that looks for bench level players tonight. And then we'll call it a night. It'll be a relatively short stream because I usually don't stream on Wednesdays and I'm still getting over a cold. Oh, the new AI trade logic seems great. Oh, that's awesome. I usually cheat like crazy when I play a long save, so that doesn't really change it for me. But it's great for the people who do like legit multi-season saves. I think that's awesome. Part of why I ended up just cheating so much is just because, when I started playing, the trade engine was not very good. And so to just make it more interesting, because you could fleece the AI so easily, I would either change things using editor and stuff to make it harder or easier for me, and to just kind of keep things interesting. Yeah, so that's right. So Nerve Anarchy, I think what happens is the 2 to 3 a.m. is when they wipe the perfect team server. So everything we've been doing during beta disappears. And then they'll do the launch that morning Eastern time. I would love it if they did the launch at midnight Pacific. That'd be great. Because I'd still be streaming. All right, so to play create a roster, you do have to be in commissioner mode. So as long as you're in commissioner mode, you can go to this manager pull-down menu, GM and manager actions. Oh, to do this, I have to assign myself to a team. That's right. I believe all these tests we did is the Mets, because that's my favorite team. So we'll assign ourselves to the Mets. When you're in commissioner mode, you don't have to apply for the job. You basically just give yourself the job. Are you sure you want to work for the Mets? I'm sure this is a question that's been asked many times. In this case, the answer is actually yes. All right, so then we're going to go to manager pull-down menu, GM and manager actions, sign a free agent. And on the far right here, you'll have an actions pull-down menu. Some types we import historical players. Tonight we'll be creating fictional players. And we'll just start with our starting rotation. Average age, bench level, 5 of these. Okay, so I need to set up my create a roster pitching view. So let's see, we don't need the number, although I think I have left it in. Stuff, we don't need movement. Answer AIP about, okay, so we're going to add in, we're not going to add everything, but I am going to add in a few things just to keep it interesting. We'll put HR splits because I think people care about that. And what else? I think that's it. Stamina, ground ball. Yeah, and then for dead ball, I usually give the hitting ratings too. I don't give everything because I still want there to be some kind of mystery when it comes to picking these players. So we'll call this create a roster pitching. Now for dead ball, I'm going to give a lot more dead ball specific information, which we didn't give last cycle. I think that'll make it a lot more fun. All right, given what we've got here, I think I'm willing to give up 5 stuff to get the extra control and home run suppression with Juan Curiel. He's also got the highest stamina, which is nice. We delete the others, and we add Juan to the team. So we go into editor to do this. Crouton is not happy with his choice, or he's very happy with his choice. I can't tell. Now I am still going to label everyone with bench, even though they're all bench. Partly because it makes them easier to spot in things like the All-Star voting, and the All-Star rosters. right. Pretty decent starting point for our pitching rotation there. Again, these are all bench level choices, so they're not going to be great. I mean, this is a Curiel clone here. Oh, you know what I forgot to do? I forgot to delete out the original rosters. All right, fortunately, it's easy when it's just one player so far, so we're good. But yeah, this Tim Gunnett is basically just, if you look 34, 35, 45, 55, 50. $35, 45, 50, 50. So close. It's actually a little bit better. Better PBABIP. I mean, for bench level guys, these are actually pretty decent. I'm not. These are pretty good. I'm not disappointed. Ooh, another one. This one's got even better HRA and has that high PBABIP. The stamina sucks though. So, am I willing to take 10 less HRA and 10 less control for 20 more stamina? To be fair, also 10 more stuff. I am considering it. Ten more stuff might be worth the 10 less HRA. I'd actually want like 15 stuff to offset 10 HRA, but I don't. Yeah, Smiley Face Jane. I like his profile the best for sure. I just think 20 stamina might be tough. I think we got to go best available. I'm going to agree with Smiley Face Jane here and go best available, even though the stamina is going to be a problem. I'm not too worried about the handedness right now. I worry about that more in the bullpen, Ollie North. But yeah, but Cannon would give us our first lefty too. That is a good point though. You know what? So the pitchers get worse at. No, I totally get it. It was a tiebreaker I thought of too, and I almost didn't want to bring it up because I think McLean is the better pitcher. So here's the thing: relief pitchers get worse faster as you go down than starting pitchers do. So our bullpen is almost certainly going to be worse than our starting pitching. So I really am tempted to go with Cannon because of the stamina. But it's hard to pass on the 10 HRA and the 10 control. I think I got to go McLean here. 75 bunt. Easy decision. By the way, I'm excited to get to this. We'll deep into it. We'll dive into it a lot deeper as we set up the complete average league. But check out this. This is new. PBABIP is now just like all the others. It's got left-right split. It's got potential. It's on the 600 scale instead of the 250 scale. For those of you who play editor, you know what a big deal this is. This is huge. Crouton is even grumbling in agreement at my feet. This is a huge deal. I've I didn't even want to ask for it because I just assumed it wasn't possible. I am so happy that it was included in the new game. It's awesome. It is it is maybe the best change in the game, and I haven't even had a chance to play with it yet. It's awesome. All right, go another starting pitcher here. We do have 3 righties. That is something Ollie North pointed out, probably important to keep track of. This is all righty bat, so it doesn't matter. Yeah, right. Well, yes, the whole team has that problem. They're all Mets. All right, so really, do I want to go 10 more control or 15 more HRA? I definitely want to go 15 more HRA. So we'll go Willie Trevino. Man, Chris Brickhouse. That's an amazing name. All right. Fifth and final pitcher, I believe. Yep. Or starting pitcher, I should say. Fifth and final starting pitcher. Probably Chandler, slightly higher stuff. Nate Prince gives us slightly higher stamina. I think the hold might be the tiebreaker here. We'll go Kyle Chandler. I don't love that it's an all-righty starting rotation, but that's fine. Apparently Crouton doesn't like it either. He just grumbled about that as well. All right, let's start going around the horn. We'll do a starting 9. We'll do starting 9 and the backup catcher. We'll do DH and 2 catchers. Okay, all bench level, all chosen creator roster style. I don't have a pack giveaway. Otherwise, we'd be guessing, how this team's going to do. So the 27 drops will start on Friday. We don't know yet when we'll get our pack giveaways for 27. So we do need to set up a creator roster batting view as well. So let's go ahead and work on that here. Let's see. Contact, BABIP, avoid K. I usually don't include gap. We're going to include gap for dead ball, but I usually don't look at gap. Power I. We'll do a contact. So here's what we'll do. We'll leave BABIP and avoid K for the overall. And we'll do contact power I splits lefty and righty. And we'll put some defenses stuff here. Let's see. No one cares about bunt for hit, so we'll take out bunt for hit. I like leaving sack bunt in, though, because it's funny. Let's see. We'll add some fielding ratings. We'll add catcher. We'll add blocking and arm. We'll do infield range and turn double play. And we'll do outfield range. And we'll add arm. I think people have wanted arm for right field, so we'll add that. It was pretty busy. Maybe we'll take out, we can take out scouting accuracy. Makes it a little easier to see. We'll take out age too. They're all in the same age range. Try to just free up some real estate so it's a little less crowded over here. Speckle, more scritches for Kuta. Hey, buddy. Okay, you cannot come sit by me looking for scritches and then be startled when I give you scritches. That is ridiculous. All right, scritches have been delivered. Thank you, Speckle. Let's see. Oh, there's a big power eye catcher here at the bench level. That's and he's a lefty bat too. I think we got to take John Gurley. I did have to pass on Jacob Cockrell, but we're gonna go John Gurley. All right, we'll go ahead and grab our second catcher, tier 2. Could be the starter. Everyone's bench level, so could be the starter. Big Eye, Big Babip. Best defenders are the two ends. Best catcher arm is up top here. I think we'll go Babbitt, best defender, go Chris Williams. I think he'll be the backup, though, I would hope. All right. Oh, I forgot to add him to the Mets. All right, now we'll go first base. $70 contact, 70 BABIP, 70 void K. No one here has I. What is going on here? How come no one has I? This is interesting. 70 contact, BABIP in the void K, and 70 steal at first base. All right, we're going Scott Paul. It's a weird first base profile, but all right, then we'll grab our DH. Will be another first baseman, so we'll go ahead and do that here in 2. $65 power, 55 I, but 25 avoid K. Or would rather go 50-50 with the low, better avoid K. I think it's still worth it to go Justin Schwager. He's going to strike out a lot, but he's going to hit some bombs. He can play first base. He can steal some bases. He also bats lefty, so that's kind of nice. Right, so they might be able to platoon him with. Oh, they both bat lefty. That's right. My bad. So no platoon opportunity there, but. All right, so then we go second base. I mean, 45 power is the best, so then maybe I'd rather go 65 avoid K, 55 BABIP here. Again, we're not seeing a lot of I at the bench level. Ooh, his turn double play is terrible, though. Okay, so we're probably going to go... I think we go Luis Garcia here. Walt Hyde just cannot hit, so we're going to go Luis Garcia. He gives you still at least above average BABIP, close to average across the board for power and I, and he's the best fielder in the batch who can actually hit. So, Luis Garcia. Yeah, there's a lot of low I at the bench level. This I don't know if it's coincidence or if it's a new thing. And this is why we're going to do that test. We do 8,000 players created every position level combination, and we'll see what the distributions look like. All right, so third base is next. For those of you who are wondering if I was going to go first, second, short, or first, second, third, I'm a traditionalist. I'm going to go first, second, third, and then over to short. Uh, 65 power is tempting, but that contact and avoid K are terrible. All right, we're going to go 75 steal and the 60 contact, 65 avoid K. All the fielding is terrible, so we're going to go Jim Plunkett's nephew, Tommy Plunkett. Fat Toad. That's why is that even in here? That was a nickname that George Steinbrenner gave Irabu, and yeah, I mean nickname is even being generous there. Why is that even in this game? I think they actually asked us for problematic nicknames, so I'm gonna go ahead and mention that in the beta barn here. Sorry, I know this is off camera, not very exciting, but this is important, so. Okay. I'll be interested to see if anyone tries to defend that nickname because it's not even a nickname. It was a derogatory name that Steinbrenner stuck him with. It was not something. I think yeah. I'm hoping it's just an oversight that it's in the database. So I'm taking it out. All right, so then we go to shortstop. Oh, wait, did I assign him to the team yet? All right. Shortstop. Five of these. We did see a 70 fielding shortstop the other night. Who was that? Was that Nerd of Anarchy's run? Who had a 70 fielding shortstop? No. Was it 90? Was it a 90 fielding shortstop? I think it was a 90 fielding shortstop or a 90 fielding center fielder. That's true. Ollie North, I like that. Like George was in any position to call anyone that but himself. If it's the bat, it's Vic Mesa. And he actually is tied for the best defense, so. Although the defensive split is interesting. He's got 70 range, but only 40 turn double play. Krebs has the better range turn double play split, but if his defense is a 50, that means his error or his arms suck. So maybe we're still better with Vic Mesa. Okay, here's what we're going to do. I'm taking Vic Mesa. And this is something I would do for someone playing too. So I think... Yeah, Anton Martinez is painfully below average straight line. That's the problem. He's below average. But we've let people look at the profile after they've already selected. So I'm committed to Vic Mesa, but we're going to take a look at Bobby Krebs here. Oh yeah, his infield error is terrible. Which actually doesn't matter as much in this era. I was worried that his arm was going to be terrible. So if I had seen this, I might have taken Bobby Krebs, especially seeing that he's a Swiss Army knife. And look at this. He's got center field. Oh, man. Where's Flying WB? The cake was real. I got to screenshot this for Flying WB. Every time we see infielders and someone has outfield range like this, they never have outfield. This time it was real. He has center field. All right, Vic Mesa. So, yeah, I got the arm, which is good. So, I'm happy with this choice. The bat, he had the best bat. So, we'll go, and he's super rangy. Super rangy, which I'll take at shortstop. He's like, he'll be like Ellie De La Cruz at short. Rangy, cannon, and he'll make some errors. And he won't be that good on the turn, which is, I think, a lot like Ellie De La Cruz defensively. All right, we'll go left field now. Has everyone been enjoying the 27 beta period? I've been having a fun time messing around with it. Ooh, 75 power, 85 I is enough to make me forget about the 25 avoid K. We're going Edgar Lara. Go ahead and hit 210 with 45 bombs and 100 walks. Let's see how splitty he is. Oh, he's not very splitty at all. Nice. Oh, exciting. I like this guy. How bad was he in the field? Is he a big liability in the field? Yeah, he's pretty bad. He's a 45. All right, center field. This feels like a big one. Although our backup center fielder will be benched too, so we'll get 2 shots at this. 55 defense. Oh, imagine a 20 defense center fielder. He's got the bat, though. Okay, 65 contact, 75 avoid K, 55 defender in center field. Mark McHaffey. I'll happily have you as my starting center fielder. I like this guy a lot. Yeah, real nice ratings in the outfield. Good contact hitter. Won't walk, but center field feels locked down now. So even if my backup center fielder sucks, this is a good one. Well, that's true, Scientific Chain. After the beta, 210. Yeah, this guy, I might have to change that 210 to like a 160. The beta is playing lowball, I think. They're playing lowball entry pool. All right, right field. Oh, also, as an affiliate streamer, I should disclose. It's never been a secret. I just remember to say more at the beginning of the cycle. Is OOTP does give affiliate streamers like myself a free copy of the game. So I am playing a free copy of the game given to me by OOTP Developments, and so I think like legally I have to disclose that I've gotten this game for free, and so that when I stream it, it's not like no strings attached. I did get a free game, free copy of the game, and so therefore, you can judge whether or not you think my opinions of it might be biased by that. But I do have to disclose that I was given a copy of this game. Okay, flat batting profile, but 75 steal, 50 defense feels pretty good to me in right field. And he's got tied for the best arm in right field. And he's a lefty switch hitter. I like Armando Santos. Oops. Delete these guys. Armando Santos. Yeah, I like this guy a lot. Good right fielder. Good right fielder. Okay, so we've got our starting 9, including the DH, and our backup catcher. And so we should have 10 batters at this point. Oh, wait a second. Hold on. Did I just lose? Let me just create a batch of players real quick. I'm going to delete this batch, so... Okay, I need to save this view before I forget. Create a roster batting. Okay. Because I went here, I just realized I don't have that view here. Now I do. So we should have 10 players. We do have 10 players. I just wanted to check that. Did I label everybody correctly? No, I forgot to label Tommy Plunkett. Okay, so now let's pick our bullpen. We're going to go 7, 8 relief pitchers. I've got to delete these guys. Now these are going to be pretty rough. I know it says I like the Mets. That's already more questionable judgment than if I got the game for free or not. Yeah. I like the Mets, and they didn't give me jack for free. What do you think of that? That's how dumb I am. We'll also take 2 closers. We'll go 6 relief pitchers and 2 closers. Ooh, look at this HRA God. And top control. Oh, Antonio Delgado. God. He's even got God in his name. Delgado. I like this guy a lot. Top control, top HRA. What's not to like? All right, another relief pitcher. Ooh, this is a rougher batch for sure. I want to go this guy for the control, but the 30 home run suppression is bad. I'll give up 5 control to get 10 more home run suppression. We'll go Bill Hoover. I do need to make sure I get a couple lefties. It's also a bad feeling when you finish drafting a perfect draft team and you go look at the pitching staff and you have no lefties. That's always rough. Ooh, the controls are rough. I told you the relief pitchers would be worse than the starting pitchers, right? The controls in particular. Young sup, Kim. All his teammates would call him sup. Sup. Yeah, I mean the control's rough, but it's the best control in the batch, so gotta go with it. I think this is relief pitcher number 4. Again, bad batch of controls. Definitely not taking the 25. Of the remaining guys, I think it's Jesse Snyder, and we got one of our lefties, so. That feels good. It's good to get a lefty without having to stretch for it, right? We didn't have to lower the bar to take a lefty. Yeah, sup, sup. I like that, Ollie North. Sup, sup. All right, I believe this is. We'll check after this guy, but I think this is relief pitcher number 5. .40 control, 40 HRA. Yeah, I think it's Neil Enns. So I think that should be 9 pitchers total. 10 pitchers. So it should be 10 relief pitchers. Yeah. So we'll take one more reliever and then 2 closers. I think after this reliever, speaking of relieving, I'm going to go use the restroom. So we'll take a BRB. Also need to refill my water. All right, what do we got here? We're not taking the 25 control guys. So I think it's Chris Alafa. And we'll have to count on one of the last reliever, or sorry, one of the closers being a lefty, which is not super likely, by the way. At least unless they've changed things in the build. But I'll explain that when I get back. All right. Let's take a quick BRB. We'll see you all in a few minutes. I'll try to run an ad break if possible so we don't get interrupted. All right, we are back. I hope the ad roll went through because that means then we won't get interrupted with ads for longer. These guys have less control than Rick Ankiel's last 5 Major League stats. Yeah, when you get to bench level, I mean, scrub's even worse. So, and you got to remember too. Going back to this slide, let me put this slide back up. These are bench level players now. The bench level players in 25 were even worse. Right? They combined to win 34 games in 25. In 26, all bench level team combined to win 75. So they're, twice as good, more than twice as good from a win perspective. So you can imagine how bad they would have been. Now, I don't know where this team's going to fall relative to that 75, but they're definitely much better than the 34 for sure. And if you look at comparatively, right, it's almost like the bench level players at 25 became the scrub level players of 26. And then they actually found a new level because the average level players didn't drop, right? They still... And that's kind of what you would expect, because average should be defined, right? It should be the midpoint of the league. And so average should always be around the same level. It's all the ones around it that should, potentially vary from version to version. All right, so we've got 2 more closers to take, I believe. Oh yeah, we have to add this guy to the roster. That's what we didn't do yet. Now I did say I want to add at least 1 more lefty. It's going to be tough though because we only have closers coming up. One thing we noticed when we did those 8,000 player creation tests at every position and level is that the only real noticeable difference between closers and relievers, I mean, everyone was assuming closers would have more stuff. We didn't find that. Relief pitchers were 25% left-handed. Closers were 10% left-handed. That was really the only difference we saw. We didn't look at stamina, though, so it's possible that staminas might have been different. So that is one thing we didn't look at the time. I think I still have the data, so we could probably take a look at that. But we might as well just look at it in 27, because that's what we're going to be doing anyway. So the proportion of closers that we see that are left-handed would probably be lower, which means it's going to be harder to find a lefty that we're looking for here. Yeah, none of these guys throw lefties. See, 5 righties. So I don't think I can take the 40 control for that low stuff and that low HRA. So we can go 5 lower control for 5 more HRA and 5 more stuff. That feels reasonable. We could go 10 lower control for 10 more stuff and 5 more HRA, but that seems a little low. So we'll go Vinny Cantu. And he won't throw lefty, but he does bat lefty. Kyle Whipkey. Whipkey is a pretty cool name, but we're going to go Vinny Cantu. Oh, that's from the Discord. This is bench. Oh, one thing I thought about doing, let's do that right now before I forget. I've got Irabu's Z Grizzly. Thank you for Squitches for Crouton. He's right here. Oh, no, Ricky, Vinny can too. I thought you were going to say Vinny can't too. Because he's not very good. Before we take our 2 closers, let's go ahead and... Oh, I didn't assign him to the Mets. I know, Crouton. Oh. All right, so let's go... let's do this real quick. I did want to double check one thing. We're going to go ahead and import Hideki Irabu. His player ID. And let's just pick any year he pitched, 1998. And we're just going to grab him. 1 year calc base. Yeah, that's fine. I didn't assign a destination, so he'll just appear in the free agency pool here. I just want to make sure they don't have them as his nickname too. Okay, good. So they had the sense and decency to remove or not have that as his nickname on his player profile. But it's still kicking around in the database, which I think... hopefully it's just... I'm assuming it's just an oversight. I'm sure there have been some good efforts on their part to try to eliminate some of the more problematic nicknames in the database. You got the nickname Twinkle Toes the other day. Did that come from a real player? Twinkle Toes. Oh, George Selkirk was actually nicknamed Twinkle Toes. He was an outfielder who played in the 30s. Yeah, his career ended as the country was going to World War II. So he played from 34 to 42. George Selkirk, Twinkle Toes. All right, so yeah, thanks for humoring me. I just had to check that out. Do we have one more closer coming? Oh, you have one more closer coming, right? Yeah, one more closer. Look at all those right-handers. You know, we've got one closer, technically closer role created. Let's just go reliever. I'm going to try to get a lefty here. All right, 3 lefties on the board. One has a 35 control, just as good as the righty above him and with better hold. So we'll go Justin Wiley. That worked out pretty well. Holy cow. Jay Papendick? 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 This guy. Wow. All right. All right. All right, yeah, so we got the lefty we were looking for. Here we got 2 lefties in the pen. It's not too bad. All right. Get him added in. And so that should be 23 players now, right? What does Papa mean? I don't know. Maybe someone in chat can look that up while we're doing this. So we have 3 more players we can take. We already have our backup catcher. We have our DH. So I think we'll take a shortstop for backup infield. And we'll take a center fielder. And depending on what kind of flexibility those guys give us, we'll figure out what the other one needs to be. This is flexibility. This is like choice flexibility that regular creator roster players don't get, by the way. And I do understand that. Right? Like they would have to decide those things in advance. So if we get a Swiss Army knife here, we may not have to take another infielder. Top defenders down here, but the bats all suck down here. So Danny Dickens, AJ Ardon. Are you kidding me? Dickens and Ardon? Is someone trolling me? Is the player creation engine trolling me? I mean, the only thing this could have been better if this is a BJ Ardon or Danny Dickens and AJ Ardon. All right. I think we're going to avoid Danny Dickens because he's only a 35 defender. Jose Rodriguez, best defender, noodle bat. So we're going to go Almanza or Ardon. It's really better BABIP avoid K or better power. And I think the void K and BABIP comes with I. So we're going to go AJ Ardon. Can't believe we're taking AJ Ardon. All right. Did he have, by the way, did he have position flexibility? Oh, look at this. He plays everything. Holy cow. Second, third, short, left, center, right. Amazing. This guy's great. His outfield error is terrible, so we'll keep him in the infield, but man, that's awesome. Alright, so now we'll take a backup center fielder. Ardon takes a lot of the pressure off of needing another infielder, so we may end up taking 2 backup outfielders. Ooh, 3 good defensive guys right off the bat here. Oh, Grigorov has the best bat and tied for best glove. Yeah, Mike Grigorov. Oh, Nate Robinson. Awesome. Does Nate Robinson still have... Let me look it up. Nate Robinson... when I lived in Seattle, he had a chicken and waffles place in Seattle. Yeah, it's still there. Yeah. That means it's been around for at least, like, what, 10 years now? That's awesome. Good on him that it's still around 10 years later. Nate's Wings and Waffles. Popular Seattle restaurant co-founded by former NBA player Nate Robinson. Awesome. So yeah, Nate Robinson right there. Not getting picked, but we're going Mike Grigorov. Look at that, Teal. Good fielder too. Nice. All right, so we've got the luxury of we can go any position now with this last backup. Because AJ Ardon can play all the infield spots, and Grigorov is a good glove in all the outfield spots. So as far as like positional coverage for when people are tired, we're set. Right, first base is set because we have the DH. Our shortstop is covered. Second base is covered. Center field is covered. So we could just go right field, hoping to get a big bat. We could go another first baseman, also hoping to get a big bat, but we don't need 3 first basemen, so we could always use another outfielder, I think. So let's go right field. We do have one more spot, right? I think we have one more spot. Yeah, one more spot. All right, right field. Average age. Bench level. 5 of these. Not a ton of power. The best power has no contact. I think Carlos Hernandez has the best avoid K, best contact, lowest power, but also the best glove. He's a lefty bat. You can always use a lefty bat off the bench, so we'll go Carlos Hernandez. Ashley Udding was probably also one of the potentials here, but I think Carlos Hernandez takes it. Mostly a left field corner outfielder, but can play center field in a pinch. All right, I think we did all right here on the position coverage. We got lucky getting a good lefty at the end of the bullpen. All right, we'll go lineups first. I just want to check in on the speed, see if we need base stealing. We do have some. Let's see if they end up in the starting lineup or not. Paul, yes. Plunkett, yes. Santos, yes. Okay, so we might go. We might not go sabermetric. We might want to let them run a little bit. You know, I'm a little worried though. If we take another higher stealing one, that Schwager and McCaffrey are going to run, I don't want them running. So we might still go sabermetric. We can go moderate sabermetric, I guess. Maybe let him run a little more than sabermetric. Yeah, we'll go moderate. Maybe that'll give a little bit more green light to those 70 plus base stealers. Who's DHing and who's playing first? Schwager's playing first. And Paul is DHing, I guess. Lead off DH. Yeah, 70 steal. They do like his contact profile. Not a lot of eye in the leadoff spot, though, which I don't love. All right, pitching. We are playing creator roster rules, so Delgado, they did go with the relief pitcher. Who has 45 stamina over Curiel. No, over... Yeah, Curiel, who they put in as closer. Wow, Curiel has 65 stamina. They took him out. All right, we're putting Curiel in. Unfortunately, he's in our ace spot now, which is not great. Oh, they put Delgado in there because of his HRA. I see what they did. All right. So now we have our lowest stuff pitcher. Well, we don't have a lot of stuff in general. We took a bunch of low stuff pitchers here. Partly because stuff is just hard to find at the bench level. Yeah, nerve-wracking. Modern Tactician runs a little too much still, I think. Let me see. Yeah, I don't want it above the center line for sure. Because what I don't want is the mediocre base runners running. So we go moderate sabermetric. And let's see. We'll go strict on occasion, highest rested. I'm not super fond of Curiel as the ace. Well, really, it's going to affect Chandler the most. How do I feel about Kyle Chandler? He's our top stuff pitcher, but the low control. Yeah, I think strict on occasion, highest rested is fine. I'm not that worried about not getting Chandler enough starts. That's fine. So we'll save this, and then we'll save it as a quick start. What about the other question? Set up team save, then run 3 sims, get an average instead of just one run. If I were going to do that, I would just run a what's 162 times 3? I would just run a 486 team sim. I'm not super worried about like statistical fidelity here. I'm just looking for directional data. So, but it's a good point. If I were looking for more statistical rigor, I would definitely do more runs. But I would just do them at once. I wouldn't do them separately. All bench V1. Okay, so we got that saved. All right, let's see what the AI thinks of this. We're not doing a pack giveaway, so we don't have any guesses. Do you guys want to wager channel points on whether it'll be more or less than 75 wins? I can set up a channel point wager. I know you all like the pack giveaways. I like doing the pack giveaways too. I think they're super fun. I'll be glad when they come back. It just takes Com2Us a little while to approve them for the new cycle, so. So I don't think anyone will have pack giveaways to start with. So it's not just us. It's a late night here. All right, so let's. I did save too, right? Let's go to opening day. I don't know. We're probably going to find that out tomorrow, Neuter Ranking, when we do that testing tomorrow. I haven't even tried that in the closed beta, so you'll find out when I find out. It's I'm excited to see. All right, let's sim ahead to opening day. So what was the overseas series in 2025? In 2024, it was the Korea series. Was it Tokyo again? I think it was Tokyo again, right, for Shohei? Yeah, Tokyo series for 2025. Yeah, it was for Shohei. It was on the heels of that awesome. Wasn't that also the awesome WBC, or was that 20? Oh, that was even further ago. Because when was the last WBC? It was 2023. Okay, so that was the. Did they not do an overseas series on 2023 opening day? I guess they didn't. It was just that awesome WBC with Shohei versus Trout. All right, so let's see now what the AI thinks of this. MLB reports and info, preseason predictions. 60 wins, so a lot lower than 25. Any top pitchers? No. Any top batters? No. Of course not. Oh yeah, we want to go to our opening day. That's right. So the Cubs and Dodgers split the Tokyo series. And we are playing against Houston. Where is that game? Oh, it's interleague, so it's going to be... Wait, where's our... It says we're playing Houston. Oh, there we are. There we are. Okay. Oh, it's an AL game because it's interleague hosted by the AL team. All right, we're facing Hunter Brown. The highlights are not yet jacked on my version of OOTP here. And I actually like the scoreboard where you can see the inning by inning scores. So where is the view selection? Oh, the line score is down here. Okay, never mind. That's there. Yeah, I guess we can keep this view then. This is really what I miss when they changed the view. So play-by-play speed. Very fast. Oh, there's no more button down here you can press. You got to do it up here. All right. We've got Tommy Plunkett. This is already the bottom of the top of the second. Full count leading off. Into the gap. Off the wall. Be extra bases. Right, AJ Ardon. Little blooper in the right center field. That's a base hit. They sail the throw and he's safe. Notorious J Hill loves the new UI. Oh, that's good. I as long as it's not busted, it works for me. It's not busted yet, so that's good. Looks like extra bases. Again, this is an all bench level team here, and we are tied with the Astros in the bottom of the third. Jeremy Pena, blooper to center. That's gonna score the go-ahead run, I think. Oh my goodness! An error by the center fielder. What a surprise! What a surprise from a bench level center fielder. What a Mets thing to do to give up that run on an error. Jeez. Little blooper in the left. Is that going to score another run? At least the trail runner didn't advance that time. 2 outs, down by 2 now. Bottom of the 5th. 0-2 count. Oh no. That's gone. That's gone. Top of the 7th. Oh, the center fielder races over and cannot get it. He's gone. Why don't you go to third? The center fielder's missing. Let's see that again. What happened to the center fielder? There he goes. He misses the ball. He goes to chase it, and then he threw the wall, and he's gone. All right, we've got top of the seventh, still down by 2, but runner on second. For Grigorov, we like his contact profile. Blooper in the left, that's a base hit. They hold the runner at third. With 2 outs, I would have liked to see him send him. I don't like relying on Justin Schwager here. And he pops him up. Oh, bases loaded, bottom of 7th for our bench level bullpen is not a good thing. Infield is in, no outs, 1-1 count. Fly ball to center, probably be deep enough to score 1. Yep, and that'll make it a 3-run game. Line drive in the right field corner. Oh, and it's gone. Left field, gone. Jeez. Our bullpen, man. Our bullpen. That's bench level bullpen for you. Oh my goodness. Wow, that was brutal. That was brutal. Eight runs in the 7th and 8th inning. Wow. All right, well, let's see how the season plays out. An 0-4 start. This is a low ball team. What's going on? No, not bad. 400 ball. No, that was short lived. 387 ball, 12 and 19. Not great, not terrible. Pretty terrible. Pretty terrible. We're not the Rockies, 7 and 23. This is one of the reasons I was looking forward to 25, is the Rockies. When we used to play low ball, it was a pretty even split between whether people would take the Rockies or the White Sox. I think everyone's been taking the Rockies in low ball this year because they were just by far the worst team. But we'll see. We'll see. You all always show me things that I never anticipated when we play these community games, so we'll have to see. I think the main thing is the bench level relief pitchers are just so bad. $17 and $41. I don't see 60 in our future, but we'll see. Do we have anyone on the leaderboards? I doubt it. Yeah, no one. Rockies have 10 wins. We have 17. Yeah, we're the second worst team in the majors. Yeah, we're catching the Pirates. Pitcher of the month? Holy cow, bench level players, and we have pitcher of the month. What? All right, we gotta see this. We gotta see this. Oh, in relief, he had 9 saves, 14 innings, struck out 8, walked 4, went 1-0 with a 0 ERA. It is really unusual for a relief pitcher to get pitcher of the month. That's wild. I would not have predicted that at all, especially this guy's profile. He is the HRA god. But with the low stuff, I thought he'd get a little more hammered. I mean, his whip is pretty high. with 50 control, he's giving up a lot of walks for 50 control, I think. But yeah, he's definitely giving up hits with that lower stuff and the P-BABIP being just above average. The low stuff definitely does penalize you, but the HRA is helping. He hasn't given up a home run yet. All right, so let's go back to the standings view. 33 and 52. 60 wins is actually still possible. Let's see. Let me get the calculator here. What's 60 divided by 162? That's a 370 win percentage. And we're 388 right now. We're not. I don't think we're going to catch the OOTP27, but all right. Let's sim to the All-Star break. Now, will we get more than our one guaranteed All-Star? 37 wins. It is. We're ahead of the Rockies and the Angels, and we're tied with the Pirates. All right, let's see what the All-Star voting looks like. Oh, we have to sim one more game. Okay, so we are 38 wins. We're ahead of the Pirates now. Nerve thinks 3 All-Stars? Ooh, that's pretty generous. That's pretty generous. It's too bad we don't have pack giveaways, because this would have been a fun... Should we do the pack giveaway thing even when we don't have packs to give away? Would you still want to do that? Like next time we do this, should we still do that anyway for bragging rights? You nerds are probably like that, and I don't just mean Nerd of Anarchy. All right, let's see. What was I gonna look for? Oh yeah, the All-Star voting. All right, let's see. Any Mets? Any Mets? No. Where's the little scroll bar here? Why don't I see it? Unfortunately, my mouse has a scroll wheel, but where is the scroll bar on the email? All right, that might be a bug. Let me screenshot this and report it in the beta barn. Let me see if this is an issue with other long emails too, like this one. Yeah, there's no scroll bar. All right, let me report this in the beta bar real quick. Okay, sorry about that. Wanted to report that as long as we're in beta mode still. Trying to make for a better game on launch on Friday. Fortunately, I do have a scroll wheel, but not everyone has that, so this could be a big problem. Couldn't be able to read your emails, including things like this, where you get to see we have no one in the top 3 in voting in the position players, and no one in the top 5 in the relief pitchers. Right, so that doesn't bode well for Nerd of Anarchy's guess. Justin McLean was selected as a pitcher. That's the guy I almost didn't take too because his stand was low. So Smiley Face Jane was definitely right about that one. I only see that one. Yeah, we got the minimum of one All Star. I was gonna say, did we get snubbed? But how is that possible when we only have 38 wins? I don't think we got snubbed. Yeah, McLean's 8-5 on the staff of a 38-59 team, so he's pitching well. 1.13 WHIP, 3.86 ERA. The only one with a sub 4 ERA in the rotation. Who was that relief pitcher? Who Delgado? Actually, not bad. 2-3, 17 saves, 1.93 ERA. The WHIP is a bit high with 1.31, but yeah. So one All Star. I wasn't expecting more than the minimum. So let's watch the home run challenge. Do we have anyone in this? Oh, Edgar Lara made it with 31 bombs. All right, we'll have to check his stat line after this. Lara made it to round 2. Shohei took him out 8-7. Shohei beat Big Dumper for the title. 18-17. What a final round. Wow. All right, we got to see what Edgar Lara's up to. He was the guy who I said would hit 210 with 45 bombs. Lara is hitting. Wait, where is he? Oh, 208 with 31 bombs. Not bad. I was close. 208, 31 bombs. I'm 210 with 45 bombs. Come on, that was a pretty good guess here. He's only halfway through the season though. He's gonna hit more than 40 bombs, but that was pretty good. Check out Scott Paul, 22 steals, no caught stealing. Nice. And this is why I went sabermetric or modified sabermetric because it's only sending the top base stealer guys. Right. If I had gone with any of the other ones, we'd have a lot more cost stealing here from the non-elite guys. Question about 3 separate sims versus 3x season sim. 3 separate sims and 3 separate. No, because it's not one dice roll for the season, right? It's a bunch of dice rolls over the course of the season. So yeah, to me the volume is what reduces the impact of the RNG. So just the total number of dice rolls. So whether it's at bats or games or whatever, I'm just trying to increase the volume to minimize the impact of the RNG. And I think whatever benefit you get from chopping it up into 3 seasons doesn't outweigh the calculation weight that it would take to then reformulate those into stats frankly, first of all, I don't necessarily believe that there's that much additional sample size value in separating them into seasons. And then I definitely don't think it outweighs the inconvenience of then having to calculate it 3 times versus just being able to calculate it once. If the move from getting it from the game into the spreadsheet were easier, I'm, you know, but there's so much friction there that I'd rather just do it all in one sim and not worry about the chopping it up. And I think in a baseball sim like this, I think the any potential benefit you get from a sample size of splitting up into 3 seasons versus one triple length season, I would consider negligible. I mean, the one danger is you would have one season that's so hugely outlier that it would impact the 3 season data set. But I would think you would still have that problem if they were separate anyway. What would help? The only time I think that would be better is if you're doing like 10 seasons and drop the first and the 2 outlier seasons, which you can't do if you do 10 seasons at once. But I don't think he would do that on a 3 season sim anyway. So yeah, I don't see any problem with running a triple length season instead of 3 separate seasons. All right, let's go to the All Star game now with our lone All Star. See what they do. The AL wins 4-3, so our league did not win. Did our All Star get in the game? Did not even pitch, which is good for us though, because that means he's going to get to pitch in the season. All right, let's resume. Month of July. 40 wins. 22-game streak without a run by Delgado comes to an end. What a stud. What a stud. 1.3, 2-3, 20 saves, 1.87 ERA. The whip has come down, I think, a little, 1.32. Or maybe it just went up, I don't know. But yeah, heck of a season so far by Delgado. I was about to say bench level relief pitcher, but they're all bench. I forgot they're all bench. All right, let's do the month of August. Aguilar on the leaderboard for home runs. "18-game shutdown streak by Delgado comes to an end. 21-game save streak by comes to an end." We're playing 400 ball. Nice. The Rockies still have 35 wins. Jeez, they are bad. They are so bad. All right, let's sim to the end of the regular season. We haven't hit 60 yet. The preseason prediction was 60. There's 60. 61 and 100. Game number 162 is a win. Heck yeah, 62 and 100. We finish ahead of the Rockies, the Pirates, and the Angels, tied with the Nationals. All right, not bad for an all bench team. 62 is still worse than last year. So, and look, it's single data points, but we came in 5 wins lower in scrub and 13 wins lower at bench. And to Nerd Veracruz' point, maybe we should be doing these with like, you know, quad or, you know, something like that with longer seasons. But But the RNG is not in the season, I don't think. It's in the player generation. And I'm not going to do 3 or 4 drafts. But I think the drafts is where the RNG really is going to come into play. But between filling this out each season and then doing 1 or 2 calibration runs, I feel pretty good about it. And it doesn't have to be exact either, right? Like when you look at this, right? The whole point isn't that 147 be close to 138. It's that the competitive balance within the season doesn't get crazy, because once you have to try to get to 147, for example, it's just so hard because at the margins the RNG just gets harder to overcome, right? I think if we're playing in the 120s and 130s, then everyone who can put together a good roster has a fighting chance. It's hard when it's like in the 140s or in low ball when it's in the 20s. It's just so hard. And I don't want it to feel impossible for people. I do want it to be in the 120s or 130s. So I think like we were close to the sweet spot in OOTP26. So even if the scrubs and bench level players are worse, I'm tempted to leave it the same, because I think even 130 and 134 are pretty high for where I want it to be. But to be fair, it's 134 and 138 over the course of an entire season run, right? So most of the runs are in the 120s, which is what I want, with an occasional spike up to 134, 135. So maybe we boost 1 or 2 player levels. What would happen if you cleared all the rosters, created 600 pitchers, 600 hitters, and had the teams draft? Would one team still have to win 95 games? Yeah, I don't know. That's I mean, even when we play the complete average league against itself, all the teams don't play a 500 ball, right? So, and those players are the players are intentionally created to be identical, and the teams don't finish at 500. So there's just enough. There's enough in-game RNG to keep that from happening. With leagues that are identical. So, I don't think that would happen. I don't think like all the teams would average at around 81, 81. Yeah, one of the first things we do when we create the all average league is just have them play themselves, because it's kind of like a gym unknown tournament. It's just like completely identical teams beating up on each other is kind of fun to watch. And the pack giveaway is a total crapshoot, because it's just like random guessing. Because there's no reason to believe one team is going to be better or worse than the others. It's just like who happens to guess right. All right, we'll zip through the. There's no pack giveaway, so I don't even know if we have to do the postseason awards and stuff, but we'll just go ahead and do it anyway. Let's do the first round, the wild cards. We are, of course, not in it. Padres sweep the Reds. Brewers sweep the Phillies. The Rangers beat the Yankees. They'll face the Mariners and the White Sox. The White Sox. The White Sox beat the Blue Jays. What? What is happening here? What happened here? What happened in the AL Central? What? They won the AL Central? Oh my goodness, that's so funny to me. We're so used to them being like the punching bags in low ball. In real life, they went 60 and 102. And they went 82 and 80 to win the AL Central here, to the White Sox. This just goes to show anything can happen in a probabilistic game. Like in real life, they were still the worst team in the AL, 60-102. They were 12 wins behind the second worst team in the AL, which were the Angels at 72-90. Well, that's true. Smiley face. A full season of Colson Montgomery does help. That's true. Let's see how much it helped them. Okay, he had 50 home runs. That helps a lot. When your shortstop hits 50 bombs, that helps a lot. He's an 80 power? Is this like a Marcus Semien thing, or does he actually deserve an 80 power rating? Let's see. I mean, he did slug 529. He did hit 21 home runs in 255 at bats. Yeah, 80 seems high though. I don't know. Crouton's grumbling better over there. He doesn't buy in on this. But yeah, good call, Spy Fate about Colson Montgomery. Adrian Hauser. Adrian Hauser had a very good PT Live card last cycle because he had good home run suppression. Yeah, I mean, he's got a decent shape. He's got the HRA and the control, 55-50. The stuff's a little low. And even on a division winning team, he did go 11-10, which isn't great. But he had a 119 ERA plus. Yeah. That's eager. Thank you for the scritches for Crouton. He's been grumping over here, so I think he's been begging for it. You begging for it, Crouton. You begging for stritches. Z Grizzly Hurge. I actually think he might need a walk pretty soon. So, I don't. If he keeps grumbling, I might have to run ads and give him a walk. But ideally, I'd finish up the stream. Oh no, he came over here for more scritches, so I think he's okay. He's okay. Yeah, this is wild though that the White Sox did so well. But yeah, one of the quirks about how we play Creator roster is that because we turn injuries off, and because we turn suspensions off, and because players are available from the opening day roster, or when are these rosters from? I wonder. Because when did Montgomery come up? He came up in July. So this isn't opening day. Yeah, I wonder what rosters are using then. Huh. Or I wonder if the AI is using the reserve, even with injuries off. Let's see who got stats for the White Sox. Yeah, only 14 batters and 12 pitchers. So yeah, they don't have stats for anyone else. So it seems like he must have been on the roster. Yeah, that's interesting. Okay, so Smiley Face Jane thinks that Hauser got nerfed for coming with a smaller sample size. Yeah, 11 games started. And let's see what his pitching profile looks like. Yeah, he should be better than this given what his stats were. 2.10 ERA. Yeah, they definitely nerfed him for sure. He should be like a 4.5 star, not a 2.5. So they definitely nerfed him for small sample size, which is fair. Which I think is fair for, especially when you. What I don't like about though is like they don't then give you a boost if you sucked in a small sample size, right? Because in 2024, uh, for the Mets, he went 1-5 with a 5.84 in 69 innings. You could say, if he pitched longer, he would have had a better season. So no one gets a small sample size boost. Or this profile actually might just be the legit blend of the 2025 ratings. I don't know. It's definitely not the White Sox only uh, stat rating. But it could be the blended stat rating because the blended ERA was 3.31. Even that, yeah, I think it might just be the blended ERA. It might be the blended profile. So does he show up on the Rays? That's the other question I have. Like if we look at the pitching staff and we look at the Rays pitching staff. Okay, so he doesn't show up in the Rays pitching staff at all. Yeah, except now I'm wondering though which where this roster comes from because Hauser was with the White Sox until July 25th. And when did I say that Montgomery got called up? Are they just cherry picking who's on each roster? I don't understand what roster date they use where the White Sox get both Montgomery and Hauser. Anyway, I'm getting way sidetracked here, but it's an interesting puzzle. Like, in what universe does a roster exist where you should have Montgomery and Hauser on the White Sox? Montgomery was on the reserve, but do you think they did a roster move before the season? The AI did a roster move before the season? It could be. That actually could be the answer. Yeah, one of these guys might have been someone that they sent down and they brought um, Montgomery over. Yeah, Kyle Teal is up here too. Yeah. Although Kyle Teal had, almost 300 plate appearances, so he had a legit profile, I think. Wow, look at that 80 BABIP. 80 BABIP, 75 I. Man. All right. Well, that makes sense. Okay. But yeah, all this came from me being amazed that the White Sox are in the playoffs. Look at this. We got the all laundry matchup here. White Sox, Red Sox. Cubs beat the Padres. Dodgers beat the Brewers. Red Sox sweep the White Sox. Mariners sweep the Rangers. Ooh, Red Sox sweep the Mariners, and the Cubs beat the Dodgers. Cubs, Red Sox. This is like the two loser teams from the from the 20th century facing each other in the World Series. Amazing. And the Cubs sweep the Red Sox. Wow. Yeah, no. So I think you're right. I think the AI just cherry picked them from the reserves. Yeah. All right. Well, we know the answer for the. Well, let's do the postseason awards. All right. Great gloves. Schwager at first base. Let's see what that looked like. Oh, this is supposed to be for the entire world. I messed that up. So Schwager at first with a 75 defense rating. No wonder he won it. Reliever of the year. I think we might get some votes here. Let's see. How did he finish? 5-3, 27 saves. Ooh. Oh, the ERA blew up. It used to be sub 2. Now it's 3.14. Ah, no votes. I'm afraid there'll be no votes for our guy. Yep, no votes for our guy. 2 Cubs and 3 Padres. The top 6 vote getters. The top 5 vote getters are from 2 teams. Thielbar, Morejon, Palencia, Peralta, Suarez. Suarez is only on there for the saves. Everyone else had very close to 2 or sub 2 ERAs. That's insane. 5 relief pitchers from 2 teams are the top 5. Wow, that's awesome. I do give credit for the AI being programmed to vote for setup guys for relief pitcher of the year. I think that's cool. I do think that's cool. It's unrealistic, but it's cool. All right, Platinum Stick Awards. Wow, we didn't get any Platinum Stick Awards, huh? Part of it is if our good hitters, bumped into the wrong competition. What did I say? I said 210 average, 45 home runs. Edgar Lara, 216 average, 45 home runs. Oh my goodness. How good am I? 216, 45 home runs. I call 210, 45 home runs. Unbelievable. Wow. That's awesome. I impressed nobody else, just myself. I impressed myself a lot there, though. That was pretty good. No Platinum Stick Awards, though, because Lara was playing left field. And in left field, we were up against. Okay, that's AL. In left field, we're up against. Okay, Stowers hit the same number of home runs. and hit 90 average points higher. Yeah, that's deserved for sure. Okay, Rookie of the Year. We don't have anyone eligible. Who did win the Rookie of the Year here? Nick Kurtz wins it in the AL. Wow, Nick Kurtz beat Montgomery's 50 home run rookie season. Nick Kurtz ended up hitting 318 with 54 bombs, 141 RBI. Wow. The White Sox are second and third in Rookie of the Year voting with Kyle Teal. I think for lowball, to keep it realistic, though, do we have to prevent them from using their reserve rosters? Which isn't fully fair to the White Sox because they did call up Montgomery. I think we just have to accept that the White Sox are going to be decent in our Sims. And the Rockies are still going to be hot garbage. We might have to give bonus points or wins to anyone who chooses not the Rockies in low ball. Because otherwise, everyone's just going to play the Rockies. All right, what's next? Cy Young Award. Yeah, we're not going to have any candidates. Even McLean came back down to 13 and 13. Cy Young. Eovaldi. Unanimously, 16-11, 2.28 ERA. Oh, that's in the AL. In the NL, Yamamoto unanimously, 19-5, 3.07. Right, MVP. Shohei? Judge and Shohei? Kurtz wins the MVP. Kurtz gets 26 first place votes versus 4 for Judge. Judge hit 316 with 37 bombs. Nick Kurtz wins the MVP. What is Kurtz's home run rating? 80. What's Judge's home run rating? 80. Wow. Otani wins it unanimously. With no defensive ability at all. DH only. He hit 64 home runs, 16 stolen bases, 1084 OPS. Wow. 64 bombs. Did we get any votes? No votes. No MVP votes at all. All right, so let's go fill this in. Uh, 62, right? Yeah, 62 and 100. I mean, 6 wins could potentially be in the noise at the scrub level, but 13 wins, it could be that, we got unlucky in the player generation in 26 and then, or lucky in 26 and unlucky in 27, but it does seem like bench might be a little worse. And just looking at the bench relief pitchers, they do seem worse. What do the creator roster rules look like? Let's see. We haven't shown that slide in a while, so I have to... keep scrolling up to find it. Let's see. All right, so we ended with 443366. I don't mind trying 444455. Because I did feel like people were getting squeezed with the 3 good and the 3 average, but we had to have enough bench and scrubs to keep it down just because the scrubs had gotten so good. So maybe the first creator roster test run we'll try 444455. I like for people to have good players. I want the seasons to be good. I just don't want it to be like too overpowered. Because again, once you get into the edges of high or low, it just gets too hard to keep moving out further. And so I'm trying to keep it competitive for the whole cycle. So we'll try out 4-4. It might end up being something like 4-4-3-4-5-6, right? That could work. But we'll see. I do want to try to keep 4 legends because the legends are super fun. Like they're the ones who crush the ball or, throw the 15 strikeout shutouts or whatever. All right. Oh, I do think we're gonna make it to Ophi tonight. I'll see that's rating Midnight Sumo again though, because it's a live sumo tournament. But if Ophi comes on pretty soon, because I do have to walk Crouton, I do want to get to bed. But yeah, that was a fun sim. I do think there have not been any like sea changes to the player creation engine, I don't think. Right, that's what happened in 26 was that there was such a big change to the bench and scrub level that we had to make some big changes. I think there's going to be more tweaks. And going 4-4-4-4, 4-4-4-4-5-5 feels maybe too big of a change. I do think 4-4-3-4-5-6 might be more like it. But now we have the creator roster quick start setup, that was the big thing for tonight, and we're able to fill in another spot on that table. This table here. 65 stream streak, which is roughly 40 actual streams. It actually might not be an exaggeration given how many times my streams were crashing. It is more stable though since I've switched to the Ethernet cable, so that might have solved. It doesn't solve OBS crashing like what happened the other night, but it does help a lot. Let's see if it looks like Ophi's going to come on anytime soon. Let me see if sometimes there's activity in Ophi's voice chat that lets us know what's going on there. Nope, there's no one in there. So she's supposed to be on pretty like right now is when her stream's supposed to start though. So yeah, tomorrow night is a regular streaming night. There's no pack ripping stream. Or I guess I could rip packs in 26. But I thought it'd be more fun to do more testing in 27. In particular, filling out the rest of that spreadsheet. that compares 25 to 26 to 27. Oh, good. See, Grizzly's already excited about Creator Roster in 27. I'm glad to hear that. I do think the player creation tests will be a lot of fun too. Now that so many of you know how to play and are interested in playing, that the player creation tests will be have more meaning to people. So I think those will be more fun than they were. Yeah, I know. And Smiley Face Jane decided to wait on her historic sims till 27 too. So and that's great. I'm all for that. And it actually helped me too because it kept from being swamped by requests for that at the end of the cycle. Especially, it turns out it was lucky because I got so sick. But yeah, it looks like Ophi's up now, so we can raid in. And then this weekend we'll just raid Midnight Sumo when Ophi's not streaming. There's no Jose Iglesias. Yeah, Jose Iglesias hit 400 for the first time since Ted Williams. Yeah, we'll see. We'll do when we do the OTB27 test. We'll see if the stolen bases are more. Well, part of the Jose Iglesias thing is he hit 350 something in real life, right? What did he hit for the Mets in 2024? I think he hit like 350 something. He hit 337. So when you're starting at 337, it's not a huge stretch to hit 350 something. Oh, the sim. Oh yeah. Let's look at the sim tonight. The stolen bases. Yeah. Let's do that. Yeah, because that's a free data point we get. Oh yeah, very reasonable. This is across both leagues. 55. No one stole 100. Usually it's Robles and Edwards at least stealing 100. So yeah, the stolen bases are much more reined in. All right, yeah, good call, Smiley Face Jane. Stolen bases much more reasonable this year. Yeah, and when we look here too, right? We look at the league leaders. Yeah, these are much more reasonable. Although Trevor Story stealing 46 seems pretty high. Oh, he stole 31 in 25, so I guess not. Wow, he must have really benefited from those the limited throws over to first. And maybe he was finally healthy again too? I don't know. Yeah, that's pretty awesome. He almost went 30-30, huh? At age 30 in his age 32 season, that's cool. Yeah, it could be that catcher arms or maybe got a little bit of a buff and maybe holds too. Who knows? All right, raid Ophi. Oh yeah, he only got caught once. Yeah, good call. Let's look at his ratings again. Yeah, 85 stealing ability. Yeah, off scale because he stole 31 and only got caught once. Yeah. And in real life, yeah, in real life, yeah, 31 and 1, that's 85 for sure. Yeah. 31 and 0 probably would have been 90. All right, well, thanks for being here, everybody. Thank you to Lone Star SW for the raid. And, especially without any 27 drops and no pack giveaway. Appreciate everyone spending their time here tonight. And tomorrow night we'll do the just MLB in 27. We'll do the 10 season sim, and compare 25, 26, 27. So we'll see what that looks like. In fact, what did I call that? Benchmarking. Where is that spreadsheet? Anyway, I think you guys know what I'm talking about. We'll look to update that tomorrow night. But yeah, thanks for hanging out, especially without all the usual incentives. Definitely appreciate it.